Whenever someone praises Chinese-made cars for getting better and better, there will always be a voice saying that overseas markets are the real touchstone, and whether Chinese-made cars are excellent, you will know if you try them in overseas markets. In fact, this statement is not unreasonable. As a big country in automobile production and sales, China should also be a big country in automobile export, but in fact, it has been 7 years since China's auto export scale has been stuck at the bottleneck of 1 million vehicles, and the models exported have been mainly low-end cheap cars. But what is unexpected is that when the time comes to 2021, the scale of China's auto exports has ushered in a historic breakthrough. Under the influence of the global epidemic, China's auto export volume has exceeded 2 million units, an increase of more than 100% year-on-year in 2020. The annual export scale has also surpassed South Korea, closely following Germany and Japan, the two major auto exporters. Moreover, since the beginning of this year, the scale of China's automobile exports has continued to increase significantly. The cumulative export volume from January to June has reached 1.33 million vehicles, an increase of 40% from January to June 2021. It is expected to surpass Germany to become the second largest country by the end of the year. More importantly, the composition structure of China's export models has undergone major changes compared with previous years. Well, whether Chinese cars are expected to make new breakthroughs in overseas markets has become the most concerned topic at the moment. So, why can China's auto exports increase rapidly in a short period of time? Why do some people say this is due to Tesla? At present, what kind of models are mainly exported from China? Your vision is your world. Welcome to Auto Age. Now you are on the journey to look back at every change in the car, witness every surge in speed, and explore the mystery behind the car. Before we started today's video, please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. Okay, let's get started. There are two arguments that can directly prove the valuable content of automobile exports. One is the export destination, and the other is the price of the exported models. If China's automobile exports are mainly aimed at economically developed regions, and the exported models are also concentrated in the mid to high-end market, then China's influence in overseas markets will become stronger. On the other hand, the influence of Chinese cars in overseas markets is flat. On the whole, although the scale of China's automobile exports has doubled, but the current purpose of China's automobile exports is mainly to Chile, Saudi Arabia, Mexico, the Philippines and other markets where the automobile industry is relatively underdeveloped, and it is still not as influential in overseas markets as international car companies such as Toyota, Volkswagen and Hyundai. However, the good news is that the overall layout and trend of China's auto exports are changing, and the proportion of economically underdeveloped regions is gradually decreasing. In fact, the export scale in 2021 can exceed 2 million vehicles mainly due to the increment brought by the European region. So why does the European region become the growth point of China's auto exports? If we want to find the reason, we might as well think about another question: why did China's auto export business, which has been stuck in the bottleneck period for many years, break out in 2021? The answer is new energy. We all know that the Chinese market is the world's largest market for new energy vehicles, with the most advanced, complete and extensive new energy vehicle production and sales system in the world, and that new energy vehicles from China are bound to make a splash in the international market. Especially in 2021, overseas markets are suffering from chip shortages and many international automakers have been forced to suspend full vehicle production, while the Chinese domestic market is seizing the opportunity to rise on the back of a mature part supply chain system. According to statistics from the China Passenger Transport Association, China's new energy vehicle exports has exceeded 540,000 units in 2021, of which the European market accounted for 260,000 units, a year-on-year increase of more than 3 times in 2020. In 2022, even in the first half of the year, under the influence of the repeated outbreaks of the epidemic, the cumulative export scale of Chinese new energy manufacturers has reached 360,000, of which the European market accounts for nearly 50%. It can be seen that the electrification reform is a great opportunity for Chinese automobiles to show their competitiveness in the international market. Although China's automobile export destinations are still mainly in economically backward regions, the growth momentum of the European region cannot be underestimated. Because the competitiveness of Chinese cars in the international market is not what it used to be. Then, why do some people say this is due to Tesla? Of course, if we analyze the structure of new energy vehicle exports, we will find that the single-brand export volume of Tesla motors from Shanghai has reached 163,000, which is the absolute highlight of China's new energy vehicle exports. That is to say, although the scale of China's new energy vehicle exports has expanded much faster than our expectations, we cannot deny that China's new energy vehicles have the competitiveness to challenge the global market, but it is in fact Tesla that is responsible for the multiplication of China's new energy vehicle exports in the short term. In other words, the influence of China's new energy vehicle brands in the international market actually still has a lot of room for improvement. To expand the overseas new energy market, Chinese brands still need to work hard. But while Tesla is developing rapidly, there is a brand in China that is constantly accumulating strength, that is BYD. According to data released by BYD on July 3, in June 2022, BYD's sales reached 134,036 units, a year-on-year increase of 162.7%. Despite the impact of the epidemic, the sales of many brands have dropped significantly, but BYD is still growing against the trend, and the cumulative sales from January to June exceeded 647,900 units. According to the data released by Tesla, the cumulative global sales volume of Tesla from January to June was about 564,000 vehicles, which means that BYD has officially surpassed Tesla to become the world's largest car brand of new energy vehicle sales. However, at present, BYD's consumer groups are mainly in China, and the sales volume contributed by exports is relatively low, which shows that BYD still has a lot of room for development in the international market. If BYD can go further in the future and develop its overseas markets, then its sales may grow more rapidly, and it may further widen the gap with Tesla. In general, for Chinese enterprises, if they want to maintain the long-term development of the enterprise and the long-term competitiveness, they must continue to innovate and increase investment in scientific research. Only by holding the core technology in their own hands, you can truly be recognized by the market. Facts have proved that whether it is Huawei, BYD, or Xiaomi, the reason why these companies can maintain a long-term competitive advantage in the market is because they all have a common feature, that is, they invest a lot of money in R&D and technological innovation every year. Okay, that's all for today. Please put your comments below, and share your insightful ideas with other people. Do you want to learn about more auto stories? Please keep following our channel and like our videos. Thank you so much for your continuous support. Your precious time with us is highly appreciated. See you.